How's it going, guys? Raj here, back again tonight with a fragrance review. Today I'm going to be talking about a fragrance coming out of the luxury Italian fragrance house called Xerjoff, and it is their fragrance called Neo. Neo is coming from, or is in, the Shooting Stars collection, which was named after an event in history when there was a meteor shower and a meteor broke up and all the rock fell in different parts of kind of Siberia and the surrounding areas. And this one is called Neo. So the notes in Neo, top notes are Neroli and Calabrian Bergamot. In the mid notes there is Cardamom, Nutmeg and Rose Pepper. And in the dry down there is Cedar wood, Guiac wood, Haitian Vetiver and Indian Patchouli. Pricing is high. For 50 ml in euros, I'm just going with the Xerjoff website actually, because this is actually the best place from a UK perspective anyway to get the Shooting Stars collection. And 50 ml is 199 euros. In dollars that's about 260. 100 ml is 270 euros, and in dollars you're looking at around 350, 380, around that mark. And this is just for the normal version that comes in a silk bag. There is another version that comes in a very kind of a box, a bit more elaborate. So Neo, what do I get out of this fragrance? This was actually my scent of the day, and I've actually applied it a fresh spray here just to kind of refresh my memory. I have to say, from the opening, this is beautiful. This is a really beautiful fragrance. I think this is one of the best citrus openings you're ever likely to come across. The most juiciest of bergamot in there with this honey-like neroli just in the background. Nothing too over the top, nothing too rich and too floral. It's all about this bergamot note, which is just oozing, and in there, clearly in a really heavy concentration. This fragrance is an eau de parfum, so you're going to expect some pretty heavy hitting notes. Definitely in the opening anyway. I'll come on to that later. So yeah, this bergamot, sometimes bergamot in fragrances can be forgettable. It can be a fleeting top note, but in this it's done really well. Probably one of the best out there, kind of matching or surpassing actually Le Labo's Bergamot 21 or 22. On a par, I would say, with Roger Dubb's new creation, his new Bergamot creation. This is awesome. So fresh, so lively. Not too far away from 1861, which is a fragrance that I will talk about later on in my channel. I do have a decant, but I'm going to review it in a full bottle, but that's a different story. Kind of similar to that, this minty freshness. They do seem like they are kind of have this same bergamot neroli mint accord in both fragrances. So that's good, if you like that type of thing. This is in both scents. So kind of like effervescent and really, really spectacular, I have to say. I have to be honest. This is a pretty special opening. I do like the opening of Neo. The opening of Neo goes on for a long time. These top notes don't subside, which is quite strange because you'd kind of expect that to happen from these type of notes, these type of citrus floral notes. They go on for several hours, to be honest, and this is the best part of the fragrance, and I'm glad that it goes on for several hours. It is definitely the best part of the fragrance, and it's impressive that they can get such performance out of these notes. After about 3 hours, the fragrance goes downhill, unfortunately. In the middle of this fragrance, there is a spicy cardamom, just like it's like a light fire burning away underneath this super rich citrus top. It's there. It's nothing pronounced. It's nothing stand-outish. It's got that Xerjoff quality to it in the opening of this fragrance, this fragrance doesn't have that Xerjoff depth, which I love, and I need the quality and the depth married together for me to want to buy the fragrance. It doesn't quite have that depth that I look for on my skin. I've worn this fragrance in different weathers, different conditions. It definitely performs well in the summer, in the warmer months. But I just don't get a huge amount of development that I kind of really want at this price. I'm going to mention price later. The mint kind of disappears, and the middle, the heart of the fragrance kind of disappears and doesn't really stand out to me. And it's really once you get into the base of this fragrance, which is actually, this was my scent of the day, and I sprayed some on the top of my hand actually. It's starting to wear away, but you do get this slightly smoky, a dry vetiver note in there. Again, it's nothing you can't really say, oh yeah, that's vetiver. Kind of get it in there in the dry down, giving this fragrance a little bit more not complexity. It's not complex at all. A little bit more depth, but nothing too crazy. It's quite a simple fragrance: fresh, citrus, bergamot, vetiver. That is essentially what I'm getting at this fragrance, and it's nice. It's more than nice in the opening. The dry down is nice, but nothing spectacular. I don't feel there's anything spectacular in here. I don't think this fragrance was intended to be some sort of spectacular fragrance, but I'm just left wondering why there was not much going on in the base of this fragrance. You've got patchouli in there, you've got vetiver, cardamom. These are pretty potent notes, and it leads me to think that the concentration of potentially those oils, or the concentration used in this whole composition, was not that high. Or maybe it's just my skin, who knows. But it's in there, and it adds a nice kind of unexpected twist, I would say, to this fragrance, to get something spicy and then rooty from the vetiver. Now let's bring price into the equation. And when you bring price into the equation, I'm even more underwhelmed, because I just can't believe some of the pricing that Xerjoff sets sometimes. Sometimes it's no problem. When the fragrance clicks and resonates with your preferences, then it's an easy decision. But in this case, I just don't know. When I get to the end of the fragrance and the end of a 10 ml decant, and I'm left wondering why a company is charging this much money, then you know the fragrance is not for you. And I think this is an absolute rip-off of a fragrance. I think it's an excellent quality. There's not enough of it, and there's not enough depth to make me really want to go out and purchase this. Actually, honestly, I would love to have this fragrance, but I would love to have it at maybe £100 or maybe £150, you know, maybe half price, well, you know, cheaper, basically, cheaper. It just does not stand out enough for me, and when you take the price out of it, this is actually a really good fragrance, and that's why I'm underwhelmed. I don't dislike the fragrance, but I'm underwhelmed. That's a key message I want to kind of get across here. And it's not a bad fragrance. You wear this, you're going to be the best smelling person in the room. There's no doubt about that. But when you bring price into this, and price is an issue for me, you know, I can't just look at a fragrance like like I'm in an art gallery. This is a consumer product. I have to analyze it with the price in the equation, and the price lets it down. And when a price lets down a fragrance, that's kind of the most disappointing thing for me, because you are paying for quality, but just not enough. It's not enough in there. Projection is pretty good in the first few hours. No complaints there. It does become a little bit softer, but it's surprising how long this fragrance actually lasts. I get about 6 to 8 hours. Nothing spectacular. 6 to 8, and it's good. Some people get unbelievable performance with this, but not me. This is a good compliment getting fragrance. Of course it is. It's a citrus-based fragrance, basically. So overall, kind of underwhelmed by Neo. Impressed with parts of it. But I'll never have this fragrance in my collection at full price. Anyway, you never know. What do you think about this fragrance? What do you think about the House of Xerjoff, guys? This is quite a popular one. This is one of the fragrances that gets talked about a lot in the community, but there are a few others which aren't talked about, and I feel actually better than this. So let me know your thoughts, guys. It's always great to hear from you. Thanks for the continued support, and I'll see you soon. Bye.